Ending to the Bloodline Saga, real reasons why Logan Paul is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. KSI to help Logan Paul win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Is Matt Riddles' injury on WWE RAW real? Vince McMahon made drastic changes to tonight's WWE RAW. Twitter erupts as Finn Balor destroys Seth Rollins on Raw this week. Seth Rollins injured? Let's get right into it. Real reasons why Logan Paul is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. This week on Raw, Logan Paul made his much-awaited return to WWE. Upon his return to Raw, Paul also made a massive announcement. The Cleveland-born superstar announced that he will be competing in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Since making this announcement on Raw, fans have been buzzed about Paul's inclusion in the ladder match. While many expressed their delight on social media over the same, some are left confused as to why the YouTuber is a part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Here we will look at 4 possible reasons why Logan Paul is set to make his in-ring return at Money in the Bank 2023. Number 5. Logan Paul adds star power to the match. Before Logan Paul could make his WWE debut, many doubted the 28-year-old. While the doubt was natural considering he hadn't wrestled in a ring before, Paul's star power was visible since day one. He mixed his popularity and in-ring skills to gain a lot of fans in the WWE universe. Naturally, this massive fan base, Paul has a massive boost to the Money in the Bank ladder match. If anything, it only adds star power to the contest, which will pay dividends to both WWE and every wrestler competing in the ladder match. Number 4. Makes it more unpredictable. If anything, Logan Paul's inclusion in the Money in the Bank ladder match has only made things unpredictable. With so many talented wrestlers set to be a part of the competition, Paul's addition has only created confusion regarding who's going to unhook the briefcase. However, this is confusing in a good way, because since Paul has been announced as a competitor at MITB, it has only gone on to make the winner of the even more uncertain. This unpredictability that Paul has caused will add to a lot of excitement, considering that the Money in the Bank match now has wrestlers who have good charisma. The contest has wrestlers who are good with their aerial techniques, and it will be very interesting to watch this match. Number 3. He has displayed an aerial ability. Logan Paul's in-ring abilities were only in doubt before he could make his wrestling debut. However, since he made his first appearance in the ring, many fans believe that Paul is a natural at wrestling. While watching him cut promos was not a massive surprise, what shocked many is Paul's ability in the air. Despite not being a wrestler for a long time, the 28-year-old displayed great aerial ability, which is a difficult task to master. Paul's willingness to jump over the top rope without any hesitation among his other antics earned him the respect of WWE fans over the world. This is why the 28-year-old's addition to the Money in the Bank ladder match could be a great move. Number 2. Possible match with Ricochet in the near future. Among the many iconic moments WWE created this year, the one that stood out the most was between Logan Paul and Ricochet. At Royal Rumble 2023, Paul shocked many in the WWE universe when he entered the Rumble at number 29. While the YouTuber was unsuccessful in winning the competition, a moment he shared with Ricochet went on to become iconic. During the match, Paul and Ricochet stood at opposite ends of the ring and jumped over the rope, creating a memorable mid-air collision. This collision was not only enjoyed by WWE fans at the moment, but also later on social media. While Paul got a lot of credit, Ricochet's efforts were somehow overshadowed. Maybe Paul and Ricochet could once again create such a moment that could later turn into a rivalry. Number 1. To face Seth Rollins and reignite the feud. Before Logan Paul could return this week on Monday Night Raw, the 28-year-old was last seen at WrestleMania 39. At the mega event, Paul faced Seth Rollins in a singles match. Despite putting up a valiant effort, the YouTuber ended up on the losing side. Since then, he has not been able to avenge his loss to Rollins. However, if Paul wins the MITB ladder match, he would have the opportunity to seek revenge. Not only will Paul be able to avenge his loss, but he can also have an opportunity at Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship if the former wins at MITB. The feud between the Maverick and the Visionary will make for an interesting rivalry and TV programming. KSI to help Logan Paul win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Logan Paul is going to Money in the Bank. The Maverick returned to Raw this week to announce that he'll be entering the men's ladder match in London on July 1. It is possible that the social media megastar could get some help from a 30-year-old to win the briefcase in front of a packed crowd at the iconic 02 Arena. The star in question is KSI. The YouTube sensation could show up in his birthplace of London to help Logan Paul win the MITB briefcase. Fans might recall that KSI tried to help his friend win his WrestleMania 39 encounter against Seth Rollins, but he ended up getting crashed through the announcer's table by Paul himself. The 2023 men's Money in the Bank ladder match will feature Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. All men except the Maverick punched their ticket to the event by going through a series of qualifying matches that took place on Raw and SmackDown. It was recently reported that WWE has big plans for Logan this summer. The 28-year-old star is expected to be part of a marquee match at the upcoming SummerSlam Premium Live event. The biggest party of the summer will go down in Detroit, Michigan on August 5. Logan made his much-anticipated return to WWE on the latest edition of the Red brand. The Maverick climbed the ladder and told the WWE Universe he will participate in the upcoming Men's Money in the Bank ladder match on July 1. The social media megastar said he is going to win the briefcase and cash in on any championship he won. Ricochet interrupted the promo and told Paul he only got the spot because the one and only made him famous at the Royal Rumble. The ring began to fill up with the rest of the Money in the Bank participants until Butch arrived to take out Logan. A huge brawl broke out between the participants. Logan took advantage of the opportunity to land a huge dive on the outside. We will have to wait to see if the Maverick will be the one to unhoof the briefcase on July 1. What's your take on this story? Let us know in the comments section below. Is Matt Riddle's injury on WWE RAW real? WWE RAW superstar Matt Riddle has picked a feud with Gunther, and it has had its repercussions. The original Bro won his match against Ludwig Kaiser tonight. This prompted Imperium to carry out a brutal assault led by the ring general himself. Riddle dominated his opponent throughout the match. A suplex followed by a Bro Derek got him the pinfall. Post-match, Gunther attacked the King of Bros and rained stomps on his leg, while Kaiser held it steady. It was subsequently revealed in a backstage segment featuring two physios that Matt had suffered an injury. The latest events on WWE RAW have fans concerned about Matt Riddle's well-being. Is his injury real? Judging by the planned-out segments, the answer is no. He did a good job in selling the injury on his leg, but probably will be ready to face Gunther soon. The injury angle was introduced to gain sympathy for the babyface while adding some solid heat between the feuding parties, catalyzing their rumored Intercontinental Championship program. Matt Riddle's injury would give the ring general a slight edge in their possible title match at Money in the Bank. There's also a chance that the storyline injury on WWE RAW is to put off their showdown for a later date. It remains to be seen if the King of Bros manages to recover in a week's time to challenge the long-standing Intercontinental Champion. Riddle and Gunther have had outstanding in-ring chemistry whenever they face each other. The Bros' fast-paced moveset complements the current Intercontinental Champion's hard-hitting ability, with both being known for their resilience. During their time at Progress Atlas Wrestling, Matt Riddle and Gunther put on two banger matches for the top title of the promotion. The latter, formerly known as Walter, dethroned the original Bro in July 2017 at Progress Chapter 46. Riddle snatched the Progress Atlas Championship a month later with a clinical performance at Chapter 51. Could WWE recreate the chapters from 6 years ago in the ongoing Saga? Given the developments on WWE RAW, there is a chance that Matt Riddle's injury will lead to a loss against Gunther in their first match for the Intercontinental title. He would then go on a classic redemption run. The Austrian Bruiser has held the title for 373 days, and if anyone could put an end to it, it's likely to be Riddle or NXT stars Ilja Dragunov or Braun Breaker. Vince McMahon made drastic changes to tonight's WWE RAW. According to a report from Scene Ross Sapp and Fightful.com, tonight's episode of WWE RAW has Vince McMahon's fingerprints all over it. Before the show went on the air, Fightful Select reported that McMahon had made drastic changes to it. Nothing has been cut from the show, according to the site, but elements, such as the opening segment, have been altered. Tonight's opening, which took place a few moments before this writing, saw current WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins attacked by his Money in the Bank opponent Finn Balor, before Rollins could defend his title in an open challenge. Nearly 1 year ago, McMahon announced his retirement from WWE. This was following a series of scandals, first reported by the Wall Street Journal, which involved alleged hush money payments from McMahon to former WWE employees. Following that announcement, WWE management changed significantly. McMahon's daughter Stephanie took the co-CEO role alongside former WWE President Nick Khan. Stephanie's husband, WWE Hall of Famer Triple H, took over Vince's duties in the creative department, stepping into the new role of Chief Content Officer. A little under a year later, however, Vince McMahon would return to WWE as chairman, insisting that his return was only to help facilitate a sale of the company. This would eventually happen as WWE and Endeavor announced a merger that would put the sports entertainment brand and Endeavor's UFC under the same umbrella. Since his return, WWE has been adamant that Triple H is 100% in charge of the creative direction of the company. However, there have been numerous reports that despite the fact that he's no longer part of the creative team, McMahon has had a significant impact on the direction of WWE programming. Do you feel that Vince McMahon has input in WWE's creative direction? Let us know in the comments. Twitter erupts as Finn Balor destroys Seth Rollins on Raw this week. Finn Balor viciously assaulted Seth Rollins on the latest episode of WWE RAW, and fans love this segment. The Judgment Day member is set to collide with Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at 2023 Money in the Bank. Balor intended to cut a promo last week on the Red brand, but was repeatedly interrupted by the live crowd who were singing Rollins' theme music. Much to the annoyance of Balor, Balor. Tonight, Finn Balor came prepared with a plan to get one over the champion. Seth Rollins made his way to the ring to loud singing from fans to kickstart the show. He was enjoying the reception when Balor attacked him from behind. The Prince unleashed hell upon the champion, hitting the Visionary with 3 coups de grace. He slammed the Architect against the announce desk and the ring post, denying the champion any chance of fighting back. Adam Pearce rushed to the scene with WWE security personnel to separate Balor from Rollins. Rollins tried to look for Balor, hoping to get his revenge after going backstage with Adam Pearce. However, Balor was not yet done, and he launched another attack backstage. The Judgment Day member said he has been waiting 7 years for his revenge and won't give up that opportunity at Money in the Bank. The WWE Universe loved Balor's booking on Raw, as fans were impressed with an intense version of the former Universal Champion. Many, including Seth Rollins, noted that Finn Balor, who beat the Architect with his arm hanging out of the socket to become the Universal Champion, has finally returned. Later on the show, Finn Balor teamed up with Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio to take on Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes in the main event. The two teams delivered an entertaining 6-man tag team match that ended with the American Nightmare picking up a win for his team to close Raw. Finn Balor appeared with Judgment Day on RAW to cut a promo, justifying his actions in the opening segment. The Prince noted that Rollins would issue an open challenge and he couldn't let it happen. Balor wants to be the only one who can take the World Heavyweight Championship from the Visionary at MITB 2023. He also mentioned the crowd singing Rollins' theme music and said fans could sing it at the Architect's funeral. Seth Rollins will look to hit back at Balor when they meet next, but the latter could also make his presence known tomorrow night on NXT Gold Rush as the Architect puts his World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Braun Breaker. What did you think of Finn Balor's attack on Seth Rollins? Sound off in the comments section below. Seth Rollins injured. Wrestling fans were concerned about the World Heavyweight Champion's further status after Finn Balor viciously attacked Seth Rollins on tonight's WWE RAW. First, his open title match was forced to be canceled because it looked like the Visionary was possibly injured after an assault at the hands of the Judgment Day member on the latest episode of RAW. He is also set to face Braun Breaker tomorrow for the World Heavyweight Championship at the WWE NXT Gold Rush. Since the WWE officials took Rollins backstage and the medics checked him, the status of facing the former NXT champion was unknown. But after Braun Breaker vowed to destroy Rollins, the latter appeared in a backstage video package. Seth Rollins was in the medical room stating he did not care about what the doctors told him. He reassured Breaker that he would be at NXT tomorrow to defend the World Heavyweight Championship. The Visionary also told Finn Balor that the latter was the guy he lost to 7 years ago and gave a 2-word message. Well, suing back. After his business with the NXT star finishes, the 37-year-old star has promised to meet the Judgment Day member at Money in the Bank. What did you think of the major announcement by Seth Rollins on WWE RAW? Sound off in the comments section below. Ending to the Bloodline saga. Former WWE writer Vince Russo recently shared how he would book the final chapter of the Bloodline storyline. The Roman Reigns-led faction came crumbling down this past Friday night on SmackDown when Jey Uso superkicked the Tribal Chief. The Usos then hit stereo superkicks on Solo Sikoa and Roman before leaving the ring. The crowd chanted, "You deserve it," at Reigns as the champ returned to his senses and quietly left the arena. On the latest Legion of Raw episode, Russo claimed that if he were in charge of creative, he would have a babyface side with the head of the table. He argued that the Bloodline angle made the Usos and Sami Zayn into big stars, and now, one by one, all of them had betrayed the Tribal Chief. Somebody coming in now and defending Roman and backing Roman because everybody has turned on Roman. Their argument could be the case that Roman made every one of these guys. The Usos were saying nursery rhymes before Roman took charge. Sami Zayn was nothing before Roman. The former writer felt that this new character and Reigns would eventually fall out, leading to Roman losing the title. Basically, have somebody befriend him, have somebody have his back. A babyface would be the best because now you think he's a heel now that he's got Roman. And then from the inside, have this person defeat Roman. That's what I would do. After the events of this Friday, WWE announced a huge tag team match for Money in the Bank. The encounter will feature Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa against the Usos. The faction that was once firmly together running the Island of Relevancy will fight within themselves for domination over one another. While the seats within the Bloodline have emptied over the last few months, Roman is still firmly at the top of the mountain in WWE, and it will be interesting to see how he decides to deal with the dissension from his cousins. Are you excited for Money in the Bank? Sound off in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for